Over the last few years, Americans that are very, very wealthy have taken home the greatest share of the nation's income since the 1920s. That's 90 years, Madam President. Larger percentage of what's out there, the rich are getting it. The rich are getting richer, and the poor is being squeezed, the middle class being squeezed, but the rich are doing really well. While the bank accounts of a few fortunate Americans have grown, their tax bills have not. The wealthiest Americans now pay the lowest tax rates in more than 50 years. And while this generous tax code has been good for their bottom lines, it hasn't been good for America's bottom lines. Hundreds of billions of dollars in tax cuts, some say more than $1 trillion, have been handed out disproportionately to the rich by the previous administration. And this has fueled skyrocketing deficits and a growing national debt. Democrats and Republicans alike agree we have to reduce the deficit and rein in the debt. Unfortunately, the same Republicans who say we have to get our fiscal house in order also claim millionaires and billionaires can't afford to contribute even a tiny bit more to share the effort that's before this country. These same Republicans say multimillionaires like Mitt Romney need lower taxes, even lower than the only tax return we've been able to see of Governor Romney, which showed his rate at 16%. We don't know what's in the other tax returns that he should make public. The same tax returns that were made public by his father, who started everyone who's run for president since then followed. George Romney set an example that his son should follow. We'd like to know what's in those tax returns that he refuses to show the American public. Did he pay any taxes? Well, I suggest to everyone that Mitt Romney doesn't need another tax break. In fact, he's got so much money that he doesn't even know where it's all located. Switzerland, Cayman Islands, Bermuda. No wonder he doesn't want America to see his tax returns. So Mitt Romney's doing just fine, and so are the other millionaires and billionaires. It's the middle class I'm worried about, not the very wealthy. We all know times have been tough the last few years for ordinary Americans, struggling to keep a roof over their heads and food on the table, and that's the literal truth. The last thing middle-class families can afford now is a tax increase. That's why Democrats want to keep taxes low for 98% of Americans, including almost 98% of small businesses, everyone making less than $250,000 a year. But while Democrats are focused on how we can help 98% of Americans, Republicans are focused on how they can help Mitt Romney and the rest of the top 2%. And they're willing to hold tax cuts for everyone hostage just to protect tax breaks for the top 2%.